Okay, seems that we can start. Hey everyone, my name is Marco. I'm contributor to the SSV DAO. That's a DVT network-based solution. And today I will give you a basic structure on how to launch your own LSD decentralized staking pool. So if you want to make your own LSD, this is the time, this is the place. Okay, so let's get going, let's start it. And for those, if you want to build it, you can build it right here. We have like an hour time. So I'll be going through the presentation, and those of you who want to build, I'll be happy to get you going. So launch your own LSD decentralized staking pool. Now let's go over through the overview. I'll do LSD 101. Basically, how does LSD pool work? How does DVT work? How to safely delegate running of validators? How SSV's DVT network fits into the picture, and how it helps really developers to build. And then possible things to work on if you want to build new creative staking apps. I'll give you some tips and how to start building. Okay, so let's start with this. Who here is familiar with the basics, how LSDs work, how the pool works, the basic dynamics? So I don't have to like, okay, so this is quite clear, right? Somebody stakes, meaning gives their ETH to the pool, then pool accumulates the ETH, and then it actually needs to send it to some operators who then will run the machines. The hard problem from the perspective of developers is, if you are a developer, basically your main skill set is developing a web app, is developing smart contracts, backend, frontend, and not really running the infrastructure, right? So this is a problem that all LSD pools face, that they need to basically somehow run the infrastructure or have someone run it for them. DVT 101, yesterday there was a lot of DVT talks. Who is familiar with DVT? Okay, kind of all of you, so you know the basic concept. You are basically splitting one validator into multiple parts, and they need to come on consensus what will be the validator signing. Basically, it's like a multisig for validator, a good analogy, but you are familiar with that, so I'll skip this explanation. Now the hard problem is how to safely delegate running of validators, right? Because if you are delegating running of the validators, you are basically giving someone the keys, and they can potentially slash you. They would probably not slash you, but they can get their keys stolen, and you could get slashed. They can go offline, etc., etc. There are two main approaches. And now there are coming, obviously, many more, but the basic approaches are Lido approach and Rocket Pool approach. Lido has a trust-based approach, meaning they have few operators. Right now is, I think, something under 40, and they have a trust relationship with them. They trust them. They don't require collateral, but yeah, if you want to duplicate something, what is Lido doing is very intensive. You would have to come to someone and basically persuade them, hey, like I'm building my own LSD, you know, join my network, and you need to persuade them that it's worth their effort to basically start operating on your network, which is not easy if you are a new project. Then there is the Rocket Pool approach that requires everyone who wants to participate as an operator collateral, meaning it's very collateral intensive. If you want to run 1,000 validators, you post collateral 1,000 times for each validator. Now, what we have now is the secret LSD sauce, which is a DVT network-based solution. The networking part is very important. Why? Because now what you can basically do is you can make your app just talk to operators in the DVT network, and there are two advantages. Firstly is the networking dynamic. So the coordination is automatic. You don't need to do any manual dealing, nothing. You just look at the Explorer, pick based on your criteria, performance, history, etc., the reputation. You pick the operators you want your validator to be operated by, but each operator doesn't even have much power because every validator is distributed, and you are deciding, do I want to distribute every validator between 4 operators, 7, etc. So this is kind of the background. This is what it enables. Now the question is, from the perspective of the builder, of a developer, is, okay, I'm sold, but how do I start building? How do I integrate with the DVT network? And basically, it's as simple as this. You just implement the register validator function into your LSD pool, and in this function you basically pass, okay, I want to register this validator with these 4 operators, and there you go. You obviously need to do the key splitting in the backend, but all you do basically is registering the validator on chain. The operators will see it, will pick it up, and off you go to the races. So the takeaway is no need for the builders to worry about operator validation. This is completely removed. You can really focus just on building your apps and getting your users. I think that's the next step. Like, it shouldn't be hard, and we are working hard to make it very easy to build a Web3 app, right? That is not the main issue, and you can now start focusing on the user acquisition and basically getting the TVL, which is the hard part. So you don't need to worry about getting the operators. You can just tap into the DVT network that's already there. And you have the ability to delegate with 0 coordination. There's also an important one, obviously, as I've shown you before. You just call the register validator function, and that's it. That's how you register your validator. But also, it may happen that some of the operators is not responding. So changing the operators is super easy. You don't need to exit your validator. You can basically just call another function. You can just re-register the validator again with different operators. I mean, there are caveats to that. You don't want to do it too often, and you don't want to change too many operators. But to make it simple, you can dynamically change operators without requiring any involvement, basically outside of a smart contract call. So those are the takeaways. Okay, so basically this is just a preview of how the repo looks. As I've said in the beginning, if you guys have your laptops and want to clone the repo and build up a minimalistic staking pool that is fully functional, that is actually doing running the validators in the backend, giving you LSD token on the front end, you can do so. I, along with some contributors, have made this for the teams to start building, to really see how the whole process works and basically go off to the races from there. I have also done a video tutorial for that. And I've tried to make it as simple as possible. Just to give you a preview, if you build it, it will basically look something like this. You will be able to launch a front end to search directly from the repo. There you see nothing fancy, but you have like all the staking functions, the stake, unstake. You see the pool overview. You can have the manager view as well. So basically, it's for you, it's for developers to really like get a hands-on on a working staking pool. On the left, you see my console there, and I'm running the backend. The backend is basically checking the balance of the pool. You see the waiting for deposits, pool balance less than 32 there. So, and once I staked 32 ETH here, and it recognizes that the balance is higher. It will create the validators. It will deposit the validator, then it will split the key and it will register the encrypted key shares with the SSV network. So here are the possible things to work on. If you're interested, and if you run the repo, there are some interesting things that could be much improved, like implementing oracles, basically implementing some kind of a trustless or semi-trustless oracle that can also import the beacon chain balances into the execution layer, implementing withdrawal address check. That would be so that the backend would be trustless, meaning it wouldn't be able to trick the smart contract. Even if somebody hacks your backend, they wouldn't be able to basically cause much damage. Adding an execution layer balance, basically some kind of a better checking of accounting for MEV rewards and execution rewards, and perhaps MEV smooth there. You could work on nicer front end, and also what could be really cool, an NFT validator contract. Basically, what you could do, you could mint, you could register the validator. You can have the validator be owned by the smart contract, mint NFT, and be fully transferable on chain. So these are some of the cool ideas you could work on. Okay, so if somebody is excited to work on this, you can scan this QR code. Basically, you will get to the Telegram group, or you can, and there is the link to the repo, or you can go directly to the repo and clone it. Is there anyone who wants to build? Anyway, okay, great. Yeah, just go forward, get it going, and we have 1 hour, so I'll be around. I'll be here. I'll be here to help you. Maybe I can go through some of the tutorials here myself. Also, if you want to test it live on Girly. We will be transitioning to Holesky, but it's still on Girly. Join the group. I can give you some Girly ETH to launch validator. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, who is building? 1, 2, right? Okay, so let me know when you are ready to clone the repo. I'll just walk around, and I can open the repo on my end as well. Does anyone need a QR code still? You have the address, you have everything? Perfect. If you need it, let me know. Basically, this is how the repo looks, and yeah, it's best to just start with the README. And there are basically 2 ways how you can go about things. You can run smart contracts and front end. This will direct you to this tutorial, or you can do smart contracts only. That's without front end, but yeah, I think if you are building, you're probably building this one.